I don't hear the audio, but
You don't need to actually hear the audio. You already know this little tune. By now you have memorized it. You have absorbed it, or it has absorbed you. And we hate it. You know what? Much, much better.
Well, I just open YouTube and listen to soundtrack from there, so I have the full audiovisual experience as the original authors intended.
I'd rather be playing Doom.
Shock the system.
This game. Oh, how I hate it. Oh, by the way, the reason you see the task manager right now in front of your faces is because that is the only way I can actually interact with objects outside of the game window without the game window thinking I want to interact with it and nothing else, because it locks my mouse cursor into it. So that's why I have to use the task manager every time I want to do something outside the window. Fun times in cosmic hell. Oh. Anyway, here we are. We are playing freaking... Hold on. Freaking System Shock 1994. I wasted $10 on this abomination. And boy, do I regret it. Were you saying?
Oh yes, it is $10. I remembered it was cheaper. Okay, on my end it's €8.99 on Good Old Games. I don't hear the audio from my end. The game audio, I mean, but...
It doesn't matter, because you already know this music. We did that whole beat already, remember? Oh, that's going to be included in the final video, by the way. How could I not? Right then, this is System Shock. Happy random day of the week, everybody. I am Madhog, Die Master, and I am joined by HedonisticActor, also known as Matimali, which is his human name. So, what can you tell us about System Shock, Mati, other than it's terrible and we hate it?
Well, I didn't try it much, but yeah, System Shock, released in 1994. It's said to be the innovator for this kind of cyberpunk adventuring, and apparently
it's really not cyberpunk at all. It's more akin to an atmospheric survival horror in space, except without the horror or the atmosphere. I think it's trying to be Alien, but with an artificial intelligence and mutants. That's really not cyberpunk in the slightest, but it has an hacker in it, so I guess that counts.
I guess it's in a kind of those immersive simulations akin to Ultima Underworlds, which are from the...
Oh yes, those immersive simulations that aren't entirely cryptic to play in the slightest.
No, yeah, I guess Ultima Underworld was the one that created the whole subgenre. So,
right.
being the first, it had some rough patches. I haven't played it, but...
Right, so System Shock. I have a fair few problems with this game, and most of them can be chucked to having the wrong mindset. Because if you go play this game with the mindset of being used to play modern games, and you are used to their convenience and their ability to actually be playable in any shape or form, having that particular mindset and going from there to this 1994 abomination of PC glory, you will be in for a massive surprise. Let's actually take a look at some of the controls you will have to use in this game.
Is this the enhanced edition you're playing?
This is the enhanced edition. Remember that. It's the enhanced edition. Right then, so A, we have standing up, the R key, crouch, the F key, lie prone, the V, etc, etc, etc. Look how many inputs are there in this one window. But that's not it!
I am wondering in what situation do I need to lie prone? Isn't crouching enough?
Apparently not. But anyway, this is just real space. You also have a series of controls, an entire map of the blasted things for cyberspace, thrust, climb, dive, bank left, bank right, etc, etc. Look at all this. Weapons. Neural, which I have no clue what it entails. Look at all this. Icons.
Well, luckily I have...
Bioware icon, full screen icon, sense around icon. MFD, I have no idea what that is. Keypads and game in general. Loading the game, CTRL+1. Who can ever memorize all of this? Seriously, and realistically,
usually
how
I
many of
just,
these do you actually need to play this game?
Well, I have actually written some of the button commands up here, so if you are in the... If you don't remember something, I can tell it. And I have both the manual open and the official Origin strategy guide, so we can do this together.
We most certainly cannot, but we can at least showcase all of the problems that we have encountered while trying to make sense of this cryptic mayhem that passes for a video game.
The neural you were wondering, it's basically your interface or menu.
You will agree with me, this is a bit overwhelming, right?
Yes, it is. It needs some time, but as I've done some of the old school games for my own video game reviews, so...
Plug.
Yes. Yeah, even for those, this is kind of an excessive amount of button commands.
But this is where the real problem, the real issue begins. Suppose you want to remap these controls to customize the game in order to make it more palatable to your own keyboard skills. Suppose you want to change the crouch command to, I don't know, X. The game does this.
Oh, maybe you need to press backspace to clear actions. Would that work?
No, now backspace is also added to the mix. It's a party now.
Can you press backspace now that it's on the cursor? Try now. Oh,
Nope.
not that. Okay.
Okay, now it becomes unused, so that's great. So we can redo this. Let's say I try to, say, walk forward. I change it into, oh, I don't know, S. Do you see the problem here? Do you see the problem here? Do you witness, can you behold the asinine design of this? This game does not automatically reset its inputs if you are using the same key to map another command. That's just irritating and aggravating right off the bat.
I am curious to see how you can walk forward and backwards at the same time.
Oh wait! See what happened? I accidentally included mouse left into the list of inputs I can do to walk backwards. Which is a problem, because The mouse is also used for something else, to interact with the screen. This is an absolute disaster. You know what? Let's do this. Let's try this. This should be fun. Right, now I can walk forward and backwards at the same time by pressing W. Let's do this!
I guess that's because there's reset in hand.
Let's begin this game and let's see what can be
That's
possibly
actually-
accomplished.
Could you also play intro while you start the new game, so...
Sure. Sure I can. Here you go.
Well, see here, or wait,
Sector 11.
Okay.
Building 71.
because I actually think this intro is well done, kind of building the atmosphere despite the...
No, not really. I mean, it might be impressive for 1994,
Into the tri-optimum
but
corporate
let's just say that the
network. 1:26
audio
a.m.
does not always match the advancement of the gameplay footage as you see it. And that
Because I
gets
think
distracting. Also, you know what else is distracting? This
Tri-optimum security
stupid
forces apprehend the intruder.
nightclub music hammering in my
yeah, I
eardrums.
agree. I hate this game's soundtrack so much.
But they could
It
be
doesn't really fit with whatever it is, the atmosphere.
Who knows? There might even be a
But I
military
think
neural
you mentioned that
interface.
the audio doesn't match the text that is written there, but I think it's done in purpose, because this is after all told by Shodan, the antagonistic AI that is the main opponent in this game. And
No, it definitely looks like a mistake. As in, you would have subtitles,
Shodan. Re-examine.
only including half of what it's been said at any point in time.
And draw new
Yeah.
conclusions.
Okay, I thought it was
The
that.
hacker's work is finished.
So it's done in purpose because it iterates how Shodan takes control of the computer and kind of messes up the interface. And
This is not a good introduction from a
Fitted with a known
premise
cyberspace
standpoint. It
entry.
doesn't really sucks me in.
Following
in the
this
slightest.
procedure will take 6 months to
well, in the manual it does tell the
Again, if you have to
Chronological
explain your premise in the manual instead of the game itself, because you cannot do it in the game itself, you cannot find a way to do it in the game itself, even though you went out of your way to include cool cinematics, that's a failing of the game, isn't it?
yeah. I guess in the olden days it was kind of a necessary in order to save disk space or something,
I'm
but
sure it was, but what is even the point of the cinematics if you can't use them to really engross the player into it? I'm sure this might
Yeah.
have worked really well in 1994. It is very probable that I am just being a negative Nancy over this whole ordeal, because this game has put me in a relatively bad mood. Right, let's start.
wait, there are all these kind of difficulty choices. Maybe you were just playing the game on too hard.
No, I assure you, that is not the problem. The problem is me figuring out how to move and look around without ripping my hair out of my head. Hey, guess what? I'm walking forward. Nothing has changed. I
You
mean-
should be able to use mouse to look around.
No. This is what you do with the mouse. In order to look around, you have to remember which one of the many keys on your keyboard is used and mapped to actually turn options, customize controls, stand up, blah blah blah, sidestep left, sidestep right. Turn right and turn left are unused. Okay, why are they unused? Does the game think we don't need to actually turn our heads and look at what is attacking us from the right or the left, as I said? Does the game think that's not a thing we need to do? If I wanted to look up and down, I have to drag the mouse on this little window up here and, well, drag the node up and down, down and up. And if I want to crouch, I do this. If I want to stand up, I do this. If I want to stand up, I do this. Or I use the keys. Okay. I need
Because
this.
that's the point of the Enhanced Edition, that there is an option to choose. Okay, yeah, you found some inventory items.
This is as far as I get in this game.
Oh, I managed to go a little further.
I have a lead pipe, so that's my weapon now.
Okay, now it's your lead pipe. You should be able to swing it with the left mouse.
Nope. No, the left mouse is to click on objects and control this little window over here. And if I try to map the left click on the mouse to use the weapon, then it's going to actually use the weapon whenever I try to click on an object I want to pick up.
Employee 2-4601, listen carefully. My name is Rebecca Lansing, and I'm a counter-terrorism consultant to Trioptimum.
That's cool, I don't care.
Employee 2-4601, listen carefully.
Ah.
My name is Rebecca Lansing, and I'm a counter-terrorism consultant to Trioptimum. We're tracking a disruption on Citadel Station, something involving an onboard AI.
Okay,
called
go
Shogun.
to the
You are
options.
Triop's only contact on station.
Oh boy, this
And
is not
on the
pleasant so
input-
far.
Okay, from the inputs, get away from the custom controls. Get away from this screen. Input and turn on motion cursor.
Oh, I did not see this one, thank you. Well, don't I look like a proper dolt?
And now you see you
Oh.
have those kind of cursors.
Oh, that's much better. It's still less than ideal, but it's an improvement, that's for sure. Now I can basically walk and look around using nothing but the mouse. That's so much better, my gosh.
Alt S is for saving.
Hold on. Yay, look at me spinning. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Okay. So, now, let me just see something else. Get used in seeing me going back to the options a lot of times, because I need to remember how to use weaponry.
Press enter.
That will not do at all. I want to change it. I'm going to use this one. Oh, for freak's sake. No! Okay.
Press backspace to clear actions.
Yes, yes, oh my god. Kill me now. This is just the worst. Let's see. Arm grenade. This one. This one. This one. This one. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Alright. Alright, it's doable now.
Okay, did you pick all the items that were on the...
I think I did, but I might as well go check this out again. Now that I can move freely. I think. What's happening again? I cannot... Okay, what is the deal with you? Speed, motion... For some inexplicable reason, it decided to undo my motion cursor. Wait a minute. Okay. Resume! Again! Here we are again! This is still a bit... this requires some getting used to.
Yeah, it's not a very intuitive system.
You are too far away from that. Sweet. Let me just crouch. I'm picking this up. I'm picking this up, which I thought I already picked it up, but it's fine. No items. Great. Okay. Now, let's turn
Enough,
around.
you need-
There is a door over there.
Remember Alt-S to save your game.
You mean, like this? Nope! Now that is inexplicably the back down command! Thank you, archaic mapping system.
Weird, I remember reading it, but... Okay, just save manually then.
Okay.
Oh wait, you should probably read those level logs. Press E.
Okay, I've already listened to whatever diarrhea of exposition that woman was spouting.
Maybe she's giving some hints or something.
I'm sure she does, but I am not interested in actually playing this game correctly at this point. This is merely a showcase of my comical incompetence with old school games.
Well, maybe some old veterans are watching this and think can instruct.
My name is Rebecca Lansing, and I'm a counter-terrorism consultant to try
Also, who cares? You have your strategy guide, so why do I need to listen to this woman saying anything?
You are Triop's only contact
Oh
on
yeah, we have
station.
the strategy guide.
Communications are out.
Okay,
Evidence of biological
what do I need to do now? Tell me what I need to do.
The mining laser is charging for a possible strike against Earth. There's a man named Nathan Darcy who may know something about taking the laser offline. His office is near the central hub on your level. The AI is on the bridge. Once the laser is
You
out,
probably
look for the
need
source
to-
of the problem there.
Never mind, I opened the
By the
door.
way, we
Yeah,
know all
there's
about
going to
you
be a
and your friend
robot
Diego.
soon, so be ready
Pull
for
this
that.
off, and we'll clear your record. That implant you're wearing is military-grade hardware. Use it well.
Ah!
Passing out.
Ah! Die! Die!
No,
Die! Die! Woohoo! Victory! Human race 1, robot kind 0. Oh. I wanted to teabag on him, but the controls are so archaic, it doesn't let me do it properly.
First hints advice. Learning keyboard commands can save time and save your life.
Oh, shut up! I will never learn keyboard commands. Never! I'd rather die. In-game, I'd rather die.
Also, read all data logs you come across. Many of these logs provide crucial information, including access codes to keypad panels and clues to whereabouts of necessary equipment.
I'm sure they do, I don't care.
Also, destroy cameras to reduce Sodan's security level. To converse ammo and energy, use the lead pipe. For cameras right above you,
Wait, is
try-
somebody hitting me? Am I being hit right now? What's happening?
Is there an enemy?
I'm looking around, I see now. Oh! Screw you! Screw you! Where do you come from? Just out of nowhere! Ow! This game sucks!
Did you kill it?
No! Die! Another one! Another one! What is happening? This is hell! Die! 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 Where does it come from?
I guess there was some kind of door somewhere.
Oh my god, I hate it so much. This is virtually unplayable. Maybe it's made 100 times more difficult because I'm doing everything with the mouse, essentially. Also, I have a human skull now, hooray!
Are you able to look up with them? Oh, you're using that.
Yes, I am, I do this.
But I guess you should be able to, with that free mouse look, you can look down and stuff.
Not sure you can. Nope.
Remember to save game.
Remember to save game. Yes. You know what?
Because it will...
I'm saving game.
You don't want to start from too far.
Done.